Assalamu alaikum. My baby. Assalamu alaikum. What's going on? What's up, brother? How you doing? 600 at home, man. You crazy. What's up, Wolf? What's up, Soul? How you doing, brother? Frank, stupid. Yo, that's what 600 at. Hey, you heard 600 new song? Frank? Oh, man. What's going on with you brothers, man? Somebody got killed on high. Yeah, happy birthday to Gabe. You still need that squabble. Did you write that dissertation? If you wrote that dissertation, you can get that squabble, bro. I told you, if you can write that dissertation, uh, you can get that squabble. So you know you should have been done already. If you're a smart man, you went to school, you educate yourself. Um, that dissertation. If you want to squabble with me, write me that dissertation. I'll give you that squabble, bro. What his name is? His name is Gabe Itch. I don't know. Where you from, brother? Anyway, what's up, Tobias? How you doing, brother? Salam alaikum. You got 5K. I don't care about no 5K, bro. I don't, man. I don't fight for money. Ah, man. Hey, man. Hey, bro. I'm gonna tell you, man, about phase, man. Once again, um, dudes don't want no phase, man, because it's not gonna end well, bro. Because if dude whoop my ass, he whoop his ass and stuff like that. It's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Ah, man, get up out of here with that phase. You write me a dissertation. I think about giving you a fair squabble, man. Hey, man, whoever you is, Z Graham. If you coming up in here trolling, I'm gonna get you up out of here, bro. I think that was Turk. It's older brother. He was like 65 years old, man. He was 65 years old, man. And, you know, from my understanding, you know, it was like a love of course type thing, man. That pussy, man. That man, them women, man, they be hypnotizing these brothers, man, to the point, man, where they can't even think right, man. I'm gonna get the full story on it. They called me about it. I'm gonna get the full story, man. I'm gonna break it down a little bit. It's like the police killed him. I don't know if he killed the police, but it's all over the news. It's on the Citizen. I know I heard it on the Citizen app, and then it's all through the neighborhood. He's an older, but he's way older than me, so he was just an older brother. Light bright is hitting the hood. Yep. We were selling the whole bricks, bro. We wasn't selling no ounces. Oh man, here we go. Hey, road runner, I'm cool with brother. I'm cool, dude. Hey, road runner, I got two friends, brother. That's actually cops and FBI agents, bro. And one of them a CO. So what are you talking about? I have friends in the department, so it doesn't matter who your friends are, bro. So that's just what that is, man. So I don't care about that stuff, man. You're talking to the wrong person if you want to come up in here and compare the street dudes and the cops, man. Because I got real friends that are police officers. So, you're talking to the wrong individual. If you directing that towards 600, you go over to his page and ask him about that, bro. That's my buddy. So what? If he want to be a cop, he want to be a cop. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing anything wrong. So he can't send me to jail. He can't tell on me. So I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care what dudes do. You can be an informant and you come around me. I'm not doing shit wrong. Shit, I don't care. I don't give a shit about none of that stuff, bro. That lifestyle is over with for me. Been over with for me for like over 30 something years. So I don't give a shit. I don't care. So that's just what that is. So just like man, you think brothers in that section don't have friends that grew up over there in that section that are cops? I think you need to do more research. It doesn't matter what profession you in. What matters is that man, 600 ain't no 60, man. He not no 60 right now, brother. Yeah, I worked out today, bro. This morning I did flies, top nest, pull downs, um you did I did pull downs, I did like flies. Salam alaikum, Maki. How you doing? Man, inshallah, man. I hope he get out, man. We don't, like I said, bro, even though I don't rock with that brother, man, I don't agree with the shit he does, stuff like that, man. You don't see once you've been to the penitentiary, you don't wish that on nobody, bro. Seriously, man. Honestly, you know. Yeah, be some honeys at that beach, bro, for sure. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is how can you say someone is a rat, but at the same time trying to be a police officer is just make no sense. Hey man, you need to take that up with him, bro. I don't have a dog in that fight. Um, Roadrunner, if you want to take that up with him, I'm sure he discussed that with you, bro. So I don't care what nobody do. Whatever profession somebody want to be in, man, they want to be in, man. Everybody's not gonna be a gangster. Everybody's not gonna be a street dude, bro. You're gonna have dudes that's non-affiliates. You're gonna have dudes that's not inside the lifestyle. You're gonna have dudes that's police officers. You're gonna have dudes in different, professions. So it doesn't matter. And now why I got a hoodie on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Draws can't be mad at nobody but himself. He know that, bro. And that's He understand that, man. I don't think he blaming too many people for that. OG Sack, he says getting ready to hit the gym on that Kev Mac. His old. How old is that kid? I don't know how old Sag is, man. I don't. I really don't. I don't know how old Sag is, bro. I don't. I don't know how old the brother is. I never met that brother. I don't even. I don't know where he's from. I don't know where he's up. What he out of. I don't know. I don't know anything about that brother, man. All I know is like always be on set, KMX segments. So that's the only thing I know about that brother. I don't know too much, nothing about him. Yeah, he probably like 65 or something like that. He probably pretty bored in them age, 65, 66, 67, almost 70. You know, that first generation, they knocking on 70. Don't worry about where I'm at, Mac. I'm gonna get you out of here, bro. Don't worry about where I'm at, bro. I'm at home. You wanna come over and say hello? I was around first. You talking about banging or just hanging out in the neighborhood? Coming off the porch, I was off the porch first. He used to come on Arlington with his family over there. I don't know Mumbles, bro. I don't know Mumbles. Mumbles was one of the yeah, I came out first. Um Mumbles was a genuine dude, bro. On some real stuff, man. He was like a real homeboy type dude. You know, it was like a dude, he always tried to teach you the ropes. Uh it seemed, but he was more political than anything. You know, he was like you can tell that he was on a black tip at a young age, but he was still banging that neighborhood though. He was a good dude, bro. You said monsters in the 60 are I don't know, bro. I don't know. Shit, it was the biggest dude I think I seen over there was Snoop Dogg. Man. No, no, Big Feet. I'm not mean Big Fish. Big Fish was whoa. My goodness. What do you mean? Who was my old crew, bro? Frank? What do you mean? It depends on what what year. I know when I first jumped off the porch, it was me, F Bone, Little Fish, Shoes, um, and always on 10th Avenue, bro. You know, and then after that, I went to the pen. Like then I got out and went to the pen in '85, got out in '87, and then it was like me and a variety type of dudes. It was more dudes like hanging out over there, and after that, man, it was just it depends, bro, on what year it was that I ran that with every day. I'm gonna put it like this, man. F Bone, out of all them dudes over there, bro, F Bone and Ace Rat was my friend. You know, Elbone. I don't know Elbone. No pork on that fork. He said, yeah, no pork on that fork, right? For sure. Or no beef. You have homeboys and you have friends, man. So, when you have a friend, you still deal with them. No, Big Fish died, bro. May Allah be pleased with that brother. Big Fish off 10th Avenue, too. Big Fish was swole, though, man. Big Fish can go to, bro, looks like this. Big Fish can be skinny as a wheel. Big Fish go to jail for 2, 3 months and come out straight, man. Huge. But he didn't work on his lower half, though. But Snoop Dogg was big like that, too. But Snoop Dogg was like well proportioned legs, arms, chest. Oh, no, I don't eat that. Hungry Hills? No, I don't eat that trash. That's trash. Okay. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know why that dude, man. That dude, I don't know why he think everybody. That dude. I don't know why that dude thinking we was on the pipe, nigga. We wasn't no smoking no damn pipe, nigga. Are you stupid? Yeah, the Crips was always bigger than the BGF. Are you crazy? That's like an understatement. In the penitentiary, what year? Oh man, it was like 83, 84, 85, bro. Them was most dangerous years for me because somebody was getting killed every day. That's okay, Rock, man. You know what I come to understand, brother. Years ago, uh, yeah, Big Ice Man, Big Ice Man was swole too. Yeah, that's right. Big Ice was swole too, bro. He was well proportioned too. And John L was swole too. John L was swole, man. Shit. Uh, it's like a lot of homies was swole back then, man. I can't just name. I just know a lot of them was, bro. No, I didn't see what they were saying. What are you talking about? I don't pay attention to trolls, man. Shout out Knucklehead. But it's like, bro, with when you got dudes that dudes and irregardless of what they do wrong, they gonna rock with them. I've been coming to grips with that years and years ago. So I really too much don't care on what dudes say or what dudes this and that, man. I don't give a shit, man. Dudes act like that they was there when me and the brother on our case. They act like they was physically there. Them dudes wasn't even there. That blows me away. They just wasn't there. And they have an opinion on it. They try to figure out what happened. That didn't happen. Man, get the fuck out of here. If you don't know what happened, man, if you wasn't there, shut the fuck up. Yeah, 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 yeah. But bro, all you gotta do, man, is pay attention. If y'all see what he did going turning himself in, that's the same shit he did on our case. Just start talking, go start rambling. That's the same shit. So I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I don't give a shit. Anyway, how everybody y'all work out today? Man, I did a lot today, boy. Was on it. I was on that jack. Staying ready. Any pretty boy story? Yeah, I got a lot of pretty boy story. I was in the and Donovan Penitentiary with Pretty Boy, man. You couldn't pay Pretty Boy to get in no trouble in penitentiary, bro. Pretty Boy had like a guitar, any type of trouble, any type of ride, anything. Pretty Boy, you look up Pretty Boy, gone somewhere in the cell, some damn where. Dinner, what I have for dinner? Too much of nothing, man. I just made some oatmeal and put some like some trail mix up in there, and that was it, man. I'm cooking, drunk some water. You know, I didn't feel like cooking nothing. Even though I could have, I had stuff in there. I just didn't feel like nothing heavy. It was too late. Man, brother, how many times I gotta tell you guys? Gold stayed on 11th Avenue. He stayed around the corner from me. I said this over and over and over again. Gold stayed right there on 11th Avenue, bro. I remember I had a homeboy named D Dog, and D Dog and D Dog Space Ghost. Space Ghost is big, and D Dog is real skinny. No, I'm not vegan. Um, I just don't eat pork and red meat, bro. Um, D Dog was real skinny, man. If D Dog had got shot in the head and he went through a whole lot of trauma and stuff like that, we was on 11th Avenue one day, and Space Ghost was playing with D Dog, and D Dog was like, "Hey, Space Ghost, on 6-0, If you hit me, I'm gonna blow your motherfucking ass down right here. That fool's face goes, he got the fuck away from Dio. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, man. You know, um, in life, man, you don't have once you get older, you don't have time for the bullshit, bro. It's like me and one of my brothers, man. Me and the homie always talk about. We call each other, man. If a nigga gotta record you or a brother gotta record you, man, you shouldn't even be talking to him and stuff like that, man. You gotta trust somebody, man. You gotta confide in somebody. Ghost went to jail. Didn't Ghost go to jail before 2010? What year did Space Ghost go to jail? Because I think he went to jail before I got out, because I got out in 2008. Was he home in 2010? I don't know. I don't know. You guys have to remind me. I don't know. What's up, Tone? Yeah, man, there's a lot of brothers from that section that's solid, man. That's why I say, man, that's when brothers be asking me stupid questions like who's the best, the reputable 60 or the best squabbler. And brother, I can't even answer that question, man, because I'd be doing an injustice to that whole section over there, man, because all of us know how to get down, bro. So like I said, it takes a group of individuals to make a section that have a reputation like that one had, bro. Because we was all with the fucking bullshit on some real shit. And you know what I liked about in my era, bro, that we was all of us was approachable. It wasn't to the point where, dudes was scared. I'm not frozen, right? All right. Like dudes don't want to approach their homies no more because they be intimidated and be scared, or they don't want to hurt dudes' feelings and all that. Man, get the hell up out of here. In order for you to be my homeboy or my friend or my comrade, if you see me doing some stupid shit, you supposed to be able enough, willing enough to, or able enough to, to approach me and ask me about that or check me about something. Nowadays, you can't even do that shit, bro. You can't do none of that. None of that. My sound in and out. Can you hear me now? Hold on. The sound is off. Can you hear me? Let me see. Let me know if y'all can hear me, all right, or not. Oh, you can hear me? Okay, all right. All right. So, like I said, man, brothers, if you got friends or homeboys or something, you see one of your homeboys doing some stupid shit, man. If you can't approach your homeboy or advise your homeboy or something like that, man, he's not your friend, bro, for real. Seriously. If your homeboy hears something about you and he can't call you and talk to you like, hey, bro, X, Y, and Z, this is what's happening. If he don't approach you about that, he never was your friend. If he takes somebody else's side over yours without even talking to you, he was always your enemy. Straight up. Your sound going in and out. Still? What about now? Y'all can hear me? I'm good now. Yeah, if it keep going in and out, I'm gonna move out this area, man. I'm gonna go home. I'm not at home right now. I came to see my peoples. So I'm gonna go and go home. Hey, Yeah, man, that's just what that is, bro. But I be getting, a lot of stupid questions. I get a lot of comments, man. Dude sweeping down, man. We was crackheads in our days, bro. And it was like this dude, this fake dude just came on here talking about we all was on a pipe and nigga, we was never on no motherfucking pipe. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, Charles, it was a lot of 'em, man. But you know what though, Charles, what I had came to grips with, even though brothers had them brothers had names from the session, um them dudes wasn't really built like that, bro. Hey Frank, we was just running maneuvers on dudes, man. We'll go buy, like I said, we'll go buy stuff. What's up, Brian Hurst? We'll go buy stuff and we'll go resell it. We'll come back with the money. Sometimes we'll give dudes some work. Sometimes we'll give some of the homies, like the little homies, some work and stuff like that. We give them like 9 ounces here, 9 ounces there. We'll break it down. Um, what is West? What is West? What is West SP? What is that? Oh, let me turn this up. Hold on. All right. So yeah, Frank. We sometimes we'll get homies. We'll break it down to give some homies some stuff. Sometimes say for instance, if we come up on like 20, take 10, and draws take 10. My two closest boys, I throw them one, and draws to throw some of his boys some shit. So I don't know, bro. I wasn't cooking none of that stuff, bro. I was just trying to get rid of it. I wasn't trying to cook it or nothing like that. Once you get that stuff, that merchandise like that, bro, you don't be want to hold on to it like that. You be trying to get rid of it. Some dudes that's like real hustlers, dudes that have the patience, they'll break the whole brick down and rock the whole brick up, you know, and they'll take off with it like that, so that's what they'll do. Well, I didn't have the patience for that. Yeah, but you had dudes that do that, bro. I didn't see dudes do that, bro. If you see Frank, you should know better because if you was around on 10th Avenue or Bryanhurst at that particular time in that era, you can break down a whole key and you can sit there in about 2 days, bro. That sucker be gone. That's how much clientele was coming on them streets, man. You should know this. So it didn't take that long, you know. And then well, if everybody got drugs on the block, what you do is you come out there around about 10 at night and you'll be out there all night. You'll get rid of all that stuff, man. But the only dangerous thing about that, man, you couldn't really too much trust too much of nothing because it was like the weird motherfuckers coming down the street and shit like that. You had to always have your pistol in your hand when you're serving and all that stuff, man. So A1 Burgers, you talking about the A1 Burger on Vernon, Rock Box? You talking about on Burger on Vernon, right? I think Vernon and Fourth Avenue and Third Avenue. Yeah, it's still, man. It's still, it's still cheap too. You can go over there and get a burger, man, for under $10. You get a whole meal for under $10 over there. Still, they still have that over there. No, I don't do nothing. I don't blow trees. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do nothing. And you know what I started to notice is like he said get chipped. Nah, what's up with EB, bro? He's all right. He's cool. And get chipped. Oh, getting the burger. Nah, bro, you won't get chipped over there, bro. Not over there. Uh, that's like a neutral type zone over there. Um, on that A1 burger. If you go to, it's a burger stand over here on Florence and 8th Avenue, bro. Hey, when I went in there one day, bro. It was all type of dudes over there, man. Yeah, Master Burger is bad for sure. It was all type of. I forgot what's the name. Meaty Burgers. Hey, bro. I went up in Meaty Burgers, bro. What's up, LBC Finest? Uh, and dude, I ran into so many dudes from different sections up in there, man. I said, damn. I ran into some gangsters up in there. I ran into some bloods up in there, man. I ran into a whole bunch of dudes in there that day, bro. It was crazy. All right, I'll tell him. Keith Thomas. I don't know who you are, but I'll tell him. Go to Hawkins. And it's a I was at work one day, bro, and I had a this when I was working for a company and I had a uniform on it, had my name on it, had Eddie on it. I went to get some Louisiana chicken, bro, over there on Normandy in Manchester. And I walked up in there, bro, and I was waiting for my food. Some gangsters came up in there. And you got to keep in mind, bro, that it was like three gangsters that came up in there, and I was in the pen with these brothers, man. And it was like two other little gangsters came up in there. And and it was a female up in there. And I knew the female. So I got a hat on. I'm keeping my head down. I'm keeping my head down. And I'm like, man, I hope these dudes don't spot me, man, because I don't have my burner with me, and I usually don't. I usually come out even. I usually have it with me and everything. It was in the car, so I didn't have it with me. I don't have my bear spray with me. I'm like, shit. So I'm just waiting patiently to get my food, man. And one of the brothers, they see me. One of the brothers see me. He spotted me, but he knew I was a Muslim up in the penitentiary, so he just spotted me. He did like this, but the girl knew who I was. She said, "Eddie boy." Man, she said that shit, man. I was like, man, damn. And then the youngsters from over there, you could tell they was doing some type of construction work. So they came up to me and they was like, "Hey, man, you do construction?" I was like, "Yeah." And they would just start asking me a bunch of questions about the trade and the on the workmanship and the craft, and I was just lacing them on it, man. And I got my food and I was leaving, man. I did that to the brothers and they gave me that nod, man. And I was like, okay, alhamdulillah. But I ain't been over there since. Because the reason why I don't do that anymore is because regardless if you change your life, bro, you don't know who's gonna turn that page on you, man, just because you were just over there, you know. So it's like, man, I was like, okay, I ain't never doing that again in my life. No, I ain't never fought no A trade, bro. Never. Never in my life. Never had no squabble with A trade. I helped Spooky fight A trades one time before I even was from 60. So but other than that, nah, just on my own, no, I didn't have a problem with none of them brothers, man. Really. No, they never had no fight, man. They just hated each other, bro. They never had no squabble. Them two was trying to kill each other. That's what that was. But they never had no squabble. But they see each other on the streets, it's straight instant gunfire. But it wasn't to the point where they never had no squabble. But neither one of them was scared of each other, so you know how that goes. But they never had no squabble. My hood name because my name is Eddie. And they did, and see when I was on the block on 10th Avenue, I didn't have no name. When I first came around, I didn't have no name. So T Bone is the one that gave me my name on 10th Avenue. Some other people talking about they gave me my name, they brought me around. That's they bullshit because the dudes talking about. I heard one dude said he brought me around. Your monster got a little brother, little monster. Um, dudes talking about he brought me around, bro. It's like how you bring me around and I live on 10th Avenue. That don't make any sense. But you know that's them dudes' story. I don't give a shit. No, I never did no time with Lala. I talked to Lala since he been home though. I know Lala. I know Lala real well. You know, we used to always miss each other, but you know, when I paroled from CMC, Lala came right after I left. And you know, and my cousin was up there and he used to call and Lala was up there with him. I used to talk to him. But I talked to Lala since he be home. He home right now. Yeah, that was my brother in the book. I don't know who gave 600 his name. See, 600 is not in my era, bro. So you guys have to ask 600 who gave him his name or ask somebody in his era who gave him his name, bro. See, you guys got to understand, man. Them brothers was kids when we left. Them brothers was like 7, 8, 9 years old when we left. But Frank have a fetish with 600. I don't know what a real fetish with him. So what you guys got going on? You guys ain't got nothing going on. You guys just lay back at the house. You know, it's late. You guys are not working. But you know, his brother man got killed by the police over here. Eddie what? Eddie what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Bully breaker. What are you talking about? What are you getting? What are you talking about? Cause I always have a mask on, bro. You should see my whole crew. What? I'm gonna show y'all a One day we gonna all have them off, but I'm gonna show you guys my crew, the brothers of Muslims. You're gonna see us all with this right here, bro. We all rock this right here, right? I ain't gonna tell you the reason why, but we all rock that. But you sometimes you're gonna see me with it off. All right, you night walk. Yeah, yeah. I thought you was working for. You thought I was working for ICE? Nah, bro. I don't work for no ICE, man. You know. Yeah, man. If you can survive that era, bro. Yeah. If you can survive that, bro, I'm telling you. See, today, and no disrespect, and there's not a knock on the brothers that's in banging right now. It was different back then for us, bro. I look at the little brothers now, man. We was little like that too, but we was more treacherous, man. I'm talking about treacherous, bro. I done seen dudes come to the neighborhood and they still from the hood, man. Dudes get the hell up off the hood, bro. I'm talking about dude, man. If a dude didn't know you and you came on the hood talking about, man, I'm such and such and such, they just start whooping you. And dude, I see dudes, man. You look up, man. I ain't never seen this one brother, man. He got whooped so bad, man. I thought this dude was Jesse Owen, man. He popped up off that ground, man. He got up, he was gone. Next time I seen him in the penitentiary. Still banging the hood though. Still rocking the hood. And to this very day, he's still over there. There's certain things, man. Sometimes certain brothers go through certain things, man, inside, sections, man, but they still stand tall through it all, man. But That's crazy, man. That stuff was crazy. Tell you, man, that neighborhood, man, that stuff, man, and all them sections, man. It's just not the '60s. It's the gangsters, the Coasters, the Hoovers, the Comptons, the Watts, and all that type of stuff. But the good thing about us surviving that era is the brothers that's in that era is bringing awareness to not to do that shit no more, because we didn't have that. I always say that, bro. We didn't have that. We didn't have like the older generation telling us not to bang, not to go to the penitentiary. Like, hey man, we need to change the narrative. We didn't have none of that. But the brothers that's coming home now, and the brothers in our era or before me, they trying to change that narrative. Yeah, man. Yeah. That brother, man, he's from around there. He been around there for a long time, man. But man, dudes be going through stuff, man. From my understanding, man, it was behind a female. That brother that got killed over there on Hyde Park and Crenshaw. You know what, man? Hyde Park and Crenshaw been a hot topic, bro. Over there for the last few days, man. It's like little 80 went to jail, and I seen that. You know what disturbed me about that video of little 80, bro, was you got all these brothers, man, from the United States ghetto to claim that they the toughest Negroes that ever hit the planet Earth, right? You got to keep in mind, man, if that was us in our era, the police would have never came inside that parking lot. For one, they would have never done that. They would have been on the outskirts, okay? But the police came inside the parking lot, right? And when they came inside the parking lot, I don't know what AD said or the police said, but I seen the police push AD, and AD tried to get back, with the police. So it was a big old scuffle. And the only little brother that I seen try to get in that was, I think it was Raymond Washington's daughter's son. And then I seen some of the women get into that situation. Hey, bro, all them gang members there and all them tough ass bikers, they didn't do shit. They just stood there, they didn't do nothing. And I'd be like, man, I'd be like, that blows me away, because it's like, I thought you dudes was the toughest dudes on the planet Earth. But here's it is in New York that them ICE agents pushed up on them Haitians. Them Haitians went crazy. They wasn't letting them take none of their people. They went crazy. You see that? Got them people right up off their people, and them police got them right up out of there. Can't do that in the hood, though. You can't do that out here in the United States ghettos in LA, man, with the gang members, man, because they have this particular type of fear towards um, to that entity. And I mean, bro, if you look at the video, man, go back. Y'all ever seen that video with AD? Watch it, and watch it real closely, man. And you can see that them dudes were standing around like, "What you doing, man? What you doing? What you doing?" Nah, dude, go help the brother. Go help the brother out, man. He there. Help. He there with y'all and supporting y'all. Nah, I don't think no 5-1 Trouble wasn't out. No, nope. I don't know when that came around, bro, but it wasn't out. Yeah, man, it doesn't shit just don't pay. Was you cool with pretty? Yeah, bro, I was cool with pretty boy. I don't know. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I think all of us was cool with pretty boy. We all was cool with pretty boy. If pretty boy, if pretty boy didn't like what you was doing, he'll voice his opinion so fast it's unbelievable. You know, uh, pretty boy had a problem with 600, and me and pretty boy used to argue about 600 like every other day. Pretty boy called me, we'd be arguing. I was like, bro, what do you want me to do, man? I can't. He's not doing anything. You too old to be coming out here talking about doing that. Kitty TM. Mm. I don't have nothing. You talking about Lil Cam Mac? I don't have nothing against Lil Cal Mac, bro. No, I don't remember that person by Bully Breaker. I don't know that. I don't know who that person is, bro. Yeah, Frank, I don't have nothing against Lil Cal Mac, man. You know, whatever he got going on, he got going on. Uh, I just know that when he did what he did with Nip, he should have just walked away. You know, because that type of stuff caused like chaos and confusion inside action. Because you know, there's certain things you don't do. And I think if he had made up his mind that he was gonna go and get on that stand, he should after that he should just walked away. All the talented people that read Monster Book loved to hear about these people. Your channel will blow up quick. Tell us more about the names we heard in the book. Okay, man. I don't know, man. See, you guys have to understand that Monster, that was his story, bro. And some of that stuff, and some of that stuff wasn't, right? So, uh, so the thing is this, right? If you come up with a book of the stories about your life, you telling your life story. So if you mention names inside the book, that's a part of his life story. That's his life story, you know. And I read the book, bro. I have the book, and and the reason I have the book and I read the book because I know it like it. I know the whole book, and then I see dudes speaking on the book, and you know they be saying things that dudes be saying on the internet or like when me and Monster situation when he mentioned me in the book he never mentioned nothing bad about me or anything like that. He mentioned my little brother up in there when he shot him in the ass and all that stuff. He mentioned Lil Feet up in there. He mentioned Snoop Dogg up in there. So he mentioned certain individuals up in there, brother, in that book, and he wasn't really to the point of being disrespectful at all, you know. And but when you get to a generation up under us or two generations up under us, they read the book and they come up with their own interpretation on certain things. Not really, man. I don't. If they mad, I don't know, bro, about that. But they was mad about it. I don't know, man. See, you got to understand, bro, that when when that book came out, I think a lot of brothers were still active. So they probably was mad about it because Monster said something about them. So what? But I guarantee you right now they not mad about it. Don't nobody really care about that stuff no more, bro. You know, so maybe back then, man. You know, when you young and you're not fully, your brain is not fully developed. You know, it's crazy, man. It's like I don't understand it. It's like I seen an interview today with a brother from Inglewood family, and he said, he said, yeah, Pretty Boy always mad, man, about Monster. So whatever. Pretty Boy always he was always mad about that. The brother from Inglewood family, he was saying that he grew up hating the Rolling 60s and didn't even know why. He said even he was in jail until he got out the pen. And I think he did like almost 20 something years. And he said he used to hate the 60s, bro, until he got out of jail, until he finally realized that that's what they told him to do. His homies, the generation before him, just like the generation before us, we inherit that war with the gangsters. And it's crazy, man, that we don't understand, man, that them brothers, we all just alike, brother. We know we all alike. It probably was 90% probably was true, but I know some of that stuff wasn't true, man. Some of that stuff I'm not gonna go into it, but you know, if you was there, you was there. If you wasn't there, you wasn't there. And when, like I said, when I speak, it's like I tell what I know that is factual. Now, if the gangsters want to speak on his book and some of his homeboys and his comrades, I leave that up to them. But it's just certain things that I speak on. I speak on dealings that I had with certain individuals, and I don't care where they was from. I don't care if they was Bloods, Crips, Southsiders, Mexicans, Aryan Brotherhood, whatever it was, man. I speak on them particular type of topic because I experienced that. Ain't no top five hitter from '60s, but man, Power Eight, we're not going there. We always hitters. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We was all hitters, bro. Period. You can't just leave it there. That once again, you cannot, in order for you to understand, to build a community, to build the reputation of a community, it's gonna take more than five hitters. Ain't no top five hitters, man. It was a collective of individuals. It just wasn't five hitters. It was a collective of individuals, bro. You can't never do that, man. I don't know why brothers be, on that. It's impossible. What's the top five squabblers? Nah, bro. You can't do that. Everybody been through the Thunderdome. Everybody know how to fight. You might disrespect somebody in in a particular manner, man. You just can't do it, bro. Your boy D Mac. Yeah, Tobias. So I don't know why. And if somebody even try to name five people, five hitters, or five top this and five top that, bro, they don't respect their section, man. Period. It's impossible for you to do that. That's just my synopsis. Somebody else may think, they might think, oh, hey, I was this and I was that and I was this and I was that. Nah, bro. You may have more fights and shit like that, but come on, man. No. So if you guys are in tune, whatever's going on in the streets or paying attention what's going on in society, I hope you brothers are ready, man, for a life changing type situation. Because when you dealing with this ice stuff gonna get bad, man. And I'm telling y'all, it's gonna get bad. And when it get bad, they're gonna have to come out here and feed their families. Go get you a box of mama chicken, huh? And you'll pay me back Monday, huh? I don't even know where you at, bro. You want me to go to Mama's Chicken? What time is it? 10, 11? They close. I don't know why, but well, I disagree with that. We can agree to disagree, and I disagree with that, bro, because you cannot name. It's impossible. Hey, Jason, you ever heard of the word of Takia? And I'm gonna leave that as that. Hey, bro, just because I wear this hat, somebody gave me this hat. One of my clients gave me this hat. You know, and as a Muslim, I don't turn too much stuff down, so I just wear it. I wear it when I'm working or something like that. Can am I frozen? No, I don't think I'm frozen. Nah, bro. I stopped when I first started. We used to like smoke weed. We used to lace it with like a little cocaine, and we used to smoke that. But that's like a 2 month period for us. I know for me because I went to the pen after that, and then when I got the pen, I never used nothing. Uh, I never used no. I never did drink. Period. So we never did nothing like that because when you go when you go to the penitentiary or you go to the jailhouse, you get laced more from brothers that's up in there and like the do's and the don'ts. And basically one of the themes was like you had to be like drug free. You know what I'm saying? So it was no more no weed for me, no more. I never drunk, so I never did no drinking. No more weed, no more primos, no none of that shit, bro. So it was like I said, man, dudes don't know. It's like crazy because I don't see how, man. Big, you way bigger than me, bro. Tobias. Um, It just, man, it's not good, man, to have a fog mind when you out there in the land and you trying to get to the bag. And that was like a pet peeve of ours, man. When we was out there doing our thing, we had to be sober, because you had to think clearly. You had to make sure that you wasn't too high to the point where you was gonna forget what you was doing or something like that. And I think you guys can understand, man, what I'm talking about because I seen brothers even today when they be smoking, they be stuck. They'd be so high that they be stuck. Even on weed, they be stuck, and they forget about they mind be all over the place. But when you're trying to get to the bag and you out there moving into the land and you doing like that criminal activity, your mind can't be fogged like that. So we just didn't do that. We just wasn't on that type of time. Yeah, Jason, you have that. I don't know. Do you go to other people that speak on that? Um, if you, because I hear brothers speak on that every day, all day. And me and the brother Decent Keep Line, he sent me like certain things to watch, and I watch that stuff, and it's like when you're talking about the war that goes on over there in the Middle East, bro. We have a war going on right here and right now in our own community, and we not paying attention to that. I don't know where you from, Jason, or nothing like that, but we have a war right here, right? So if the brothers over there is taking care of their business, the brothers over here need to take care of their business over here. And for us to take care of our business, man, we have to basically uh, put out a message or a demonstration where certain things dealing with genocide of our own people, um, or people being captured, going to being slaves, going to the penitentiary. We supposed to be on that type of time, because we all have a mission and we all have a purpose. But if we get too consumed what's going on in other countries and stuff like that, brother, you're gonna forget your own purpose where you at and right now today. So if it spills over, it spills over. That's why you have to be ready. Now, if you're not ready for it, bro, you just can't be sitting there, crying about it. You got to be ready for it. If are you training or are you making sure that you got food and water and stuff all stacked up that you to the point where it can last you for for a few years. You got to understand what you're talking about. You just can't just sit there and talk about it and you yourself ain't out there doing what you need to do. If you feel that brothers over here that's Muslims are not doing their job, you start doing the job. It's easy peasy, bro. And I'm sure you have the intellect and the articulate skills to do that. But you have to build up a fan base, and you got to speak. And when you're dealing with the people, you have to speak in a language that the people understand. So if you come in, if you giving a dissertation, or you're giving a kupa or anything like that, and you're not surveying your audience and things of that nature, you can be talking over their head. They're not going to understand nothing you're talking about. So it's easy to get your point across, brother, when you speak to the people with the language you understand. My nephew Jason. What's up, brother? Jason. Hey, Jason. What, Tech. Hey, Tech. Where you stay at, Tech? My first near death experience, man. I got shot by with some buckshots, and F-bone didn't get hit, and he was standing in front of me, and I guess I was taller than him, and I got hit with all the buckshots. Shout out, brothers. Thank you. Yeah, man. Life is dirty, man, and it's a trip, man. You know what I noticed though, bro? When you dealing with that particular lifestyle, um, dudes would catch cases, like in my brother instance, and they'll be a part of the case, and they'll get head of the case. You know, they'll go tell on somebody else. They go lie tell on somebody else, bro. You know, that's another form of backdoor that I always speak on, and that's what these dudes do. They'll sit there and they don't care about you labeling them a snitch or not. They just know that they have did something foul, and they go put it on somebody else. No, my little brother ain't gonna be thinking. See, one thing about my family, bro, my little brother ain't gonna go nowhere near that shit, man, for sure. And that's a that, once he see that that's what's around me, he ain't gonna want to go over there, and I know that for a fact. Once he see that it's different, he ain't gonna want to go see that. Oh, okay. What's up, Jason? How you doing, brother? Oh yeah, you can always get $10 for a burrito. Yeah, so and that's just what that is, man. So it's like, man, it's good to see that a lot of the kids, um, I know when I came home, it was good to see a lot of the kids wasn't into that gang life like that, bro. Now, my brother case is cool right now. We got it going. It's cool. It's all working out. Um, I love to see how long I did. I did 17. It was a trip, man. I used to see my son when I first went in. Um, my kid's mother, my baby mama, used to bring my son up there to see my son, little bitty dude, man. And he started getting older. I think he was around about like 2, 3, and I used to see him, and I used to always be worried about him, right? And then when I got home and I seen he was taller than me, uh, he was straight up square, and that's what I loved about him the most. He was like a square type dude. Uh, his mother did a real fabulous job with him. She was always on his bumper. She was owning, you know. And he used to tell me he used to call me sometimes. She on me, man. I was like, shit. You kept your ass from being out in the streets, so I respect her for that. I really do, man. I hold her in high regard that she safeguarded my son from that, man, for real. And it's a blessing, man, when I can see my two kids. Because I got two kids. I got a daughter, an older daughter, and I have a son. My daughter is 36. My son is 33. And I see both of them. They both like entrepreneurs. They have their own business, just like me. And it's like, man, it's like you see and you be happy that your kids don't have to suffer. Um, your kids ain't a part of that shit, man. Ain't gonna get caught up in that. You said, why do snitch and get life anyway? Cause crazy out here. Nah, bro, Keith, you got to understand that he caught another case with somebody else, and he told on them brothers. You know that dude Nutty, he caught another case, and he told on them brothers. You know, cause them brothers was staying down, and then but one of them dudes, you know, they found out he was telling. They were like, man, fuck that dude, and they got on him. You know, see, when you an informant and you working for the police and you break certain rules and protocols and certain things, they're gonna throw you up on the bus. And you guys got to keep in mind that the police, they don't like snitches, bro. Salam alaikum, Maki and H. You know, some people they don't like the police, man. I mean, not the police, but the police don't like snitches. And what the police do is, bro, they will secretly pull you to the side and tell you who's telling. And if dudes don't understand that, man, you got to be crazy. See, dudes be talking about paperwork and all this and all that. Man, them police would tell you who's an informant. If they get mad at you, they're gonna tell on you. They're gonna let your people know that you out there working, and you ain't even gonna know that they let your people. So that's why I say, man, that gang culture, that shit is dangerous, bro. It's dangerous for the informants. It's dangerous for the gang members. It's just danger all the way around, man. That's why it's better to. That's why you get more money. What I had learned, you get more money on this side of the ball, working, hustling over here, than on that side. You know, because in this day and age, in 2025, if you ain't all the way plugged up with anybody that's all the way on, you really ain't gonna make too much money, man. You know, that's why it's easy to get a job now. It's like I know in my field, you can get a job for starting at like from 35 to $40 an hour right now. Easy in my field. If you like a person that's like a laborer or something like that, you can easily make 200 bucks a day, you know. So this is why I be trying to encourage dude, man, this work, man. Work is gonna be hard out here for a minute, you know. You get to a point, man, but you're gonna get there. I don't know why I didn't go back. I don't know why people go back, bro, after doing 30 and 40 years, because sometimes that's all they know. Sometimes they miss out on something. If you've been gone for all that time, just especially 30 and 40 years, you missed them golden years. You missed a lot of years, man, where we was out there doing all type of stuff, having money, and we was doing this and doing that. So some dudes want to go back and try to experience that, but you ain't gonna be able to experience that, man. But sometimes, bro, they don't know nothing else, bro. And they go back to that stuff, man. It's unfortunate if bro, like I said, if you over 30 years old and you haven't found your way about that gang culture, you need to go see a psychiatrist, man. Right, right. So it's like I don't get it, man. I don't understand it. Um, I look at it like it's mental health. No disrespect to anybody that's still doing that. Sometimes just look, but some brothers really. Some dudes are just with that. They breathe that. But a lot of dudes like see a lot of older dudes, even though they still represent themselves when they set, they not out there doing stupid shit. They're more conscious of what's going on. You got guys that represent their section to the point where they trying to let these kids know, look, man, you don't need to go to the penitentiary to be tough. You know, um, you don't need to do this to be a down individual. Some dudes are doing that, bro. Everything is lost. Even the gangsters don't have any discipline. Paralyzed ladies. Fucking 2000. Yeah, man, dudes is lazy nowadays, bro. So it's like, so you do have some dudes, man, that goes back into their section and they try to basically try to change the narrative of what's going on without selling out their people, you know. But anytime you working with any type of county, yeah, man. You're right about that, man. It's like, man, it's like a domino effect, bro. It's like this, man. This the way I view everything. Like, and it always weighed on me. Like I wasn't work. I didn't before I went to jail, bro. Put it like this. For me, I didn't need no money, bro. Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute, CC. Uh, I didn't need no bread, bro. I was already on. I had passed a test to get a job with the county. I had a job. I had already had a daughter. I had a son on the way, and I didn't really need nothing, bro. Be honest with you, man. I got greedy. Greed got me in the penitentiary, man. And time I left, the year after I left, because I had my little brother staying, my baby brother was staying with me, man, and because he was staying on Vermont and 70 something, he was staying in Hooverhood, and he started getting older. He was like 14, 15, and I went and grabbed him from my mother to make sure that he wasn't gonna be a Hoover. He wasn't being part of that gang life, so I went and grabbed him. So he was staying with me. So when he was staying with me, bro, and when I failed, he had to go back over there inside the ghettos. And but at that time, my mother moved back on 10th Avenue. So my brother had a job over there at Quick and Split, right there where Nipsey got killed. And some dudes came by shooting, and my brother he got hit, at work. And then when he got hit, bro, he died from that. And it was 1993, July 3rd, 1993. And I'll never forget that. And that ate me up to the point because I knew that if I was on the block, on the streets, that would have never happened because he would have never been over there. He wouldn't have to go to work because I was already providing for him. I was already set, and that bothered me, man. And it's like when you do stupid shit in them streets, the domino effect that happens to you, your family, and somebody else's family, bro, is enormous. So this is what I be telling dudes, man. Don't trick yourself off the streets. If time get hard, just get hard, man. You find another way to try to get to the bread or whatever it may be. Uh, don't go out there, man. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody, man. If you use a joint, you always been a joint. You always do shit like that. If a dude sitting there talking about if he want to fight you, he want to fade. Be careful about that because if you whoop his ass, he gonna want to kill you anyway. So it's just like a lot of things, man. I tell brothers, man, to get away from. So um, when a lot of brothers get away from that, the better off they gonna be. Cause me, bro, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a bougie Negro right now. I'm bougie, bro. Straight up, straight up. It's hard for me to even take jobs inside the United States ghettos. I don't have nothing against my people, but I just don't like being around that element. I go to places, man, where it's very diverse. It's not just only blacks. It's diverse all the way around, bro. I feel more comfortable, and if I run into somebody from the ghettos, it's cool because they on that same type of time that I'm on, and it's like when you go to like even the jazz festivals, bro. I don't even go to the jazz festival because you go to the jazz festival. If you go to one and you go to another, you run into the same people. You don't run into different people. You know, I don't go to bike clubs or bike scenes or nothing like that because all that stuff is it's a potential element, bro, that can blow up to something. Even though people are having fun, they chilling and stuff like that. That's the thing. That's their thing. Okay, alhamdulillah. But it's a particular element I just don't like. I don't want to be around. You know, because something can go bad. Either way, you put yourself in certain elements, in certain situation, or you put yourself in harm way, you're gonna get that karma that comes with that. So I just try not to be around that stuff, man. I be around, you know, I just be around bougie stuff, bro, and and fly stuff, and I believe that, especially the brothers in my era, that come from the section, we was some fly dudes, man. We was fly dudes. Even though we was banging, we came about that banging aspect. We was getting to the bag, and we became like fly dudes, bro. And when you a fly dude, man, you do fly shit. You don't want to be around that, bro. It's easier like that, man. They say, and then you trip off the squares out here. The squares got all the girls, man. Maybe sometimes they be suckers and tender dicks and stuff like that. But if a woman see that a dude coming from the United States ghetto that got his shit together and he's like a fly dude and stuff like that, and he has that umph in him, bro, you gonna surpass the squares because you're not scared. You gonna be a person that know how to protect your family. Uh, nah, I was on the street when he got shot, bro. Um, you're gonna be able to protect your family and things of that nature. But you're just not gonna want to be around that element, man. If you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. Hey, Keith, I was on the streets, man. I hunt that. Right, right, Frank, for sure. But see, Frank, you got to also understand that when they do come out of retirement, they're not gonna come out of retirement and be like a reactionary type person. They gonna figure it out to the point where they can get away with everything they got going on. They just not gonna come out. You know how we was younger, we was kids, and we'd just sit out there and something happened to one of the brothers inside the section or inside the neighborhood, and we just react, without thinking. You're not gonna get brothers like that no more. Brothers are more thinkers than anything. They think in critical terms. So if something happened to one of their people or something like that, so a certain individual, man, they come out of retirement, you ain't even gonna see it coming, bro. Dudes ain't gonna see it coming because dudes do. If you guys understand what reconnaissance is like getting information on your ground and your enemy ground. So a lot of people are not gonna be sitting there coming out here if they gotta come out of retirement. They're not gonna go do nothing stupid. And the quickest thing to have a brother come out of retirement, if you fuck with his family, bro, that's the quickest thing they're gonna have a dude come out of his family. I mean, so man, I've been on here long enough, man. I'm gonna have to get up out of here, man. I gotta go home, bro. You guys be safe, man. You guys be safe, man. It's always love. Assalamu alaikum.